Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I just came in. I had to get my shirt on. You know, I don't have my hat tonight, guys, so I do apologize. Let's see how many people. Okay, cool. Yeah, hi, subject 14. Hello, everybody. We're going to be doing a Blackenedhills reading tonight. Yeah, there I am. Sorry about that. I started the live stream, and I had to run to the bathroom. So it was just one of those surprise. But yeah, we're going to get right into this. Titch, it's nice seeing you again, man. I hadn't seen you in a minute. Let's see who else here. We got Titch, we got Sean, we got Subject 14. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. We're going to wait for just a few more people to show up, and we're going to start the Blackenedhills reading. So I hope you guys are ready. You know, we're going to see how it goes over tonight. If it doesn't go over as very well, like it didn't go over the other night very well, then we're probably no longer going to be having Blackenedhills readings, guys. But we're going to do our best. Okay? So hopefully this works out tonight. All right. So we got 4 new people in here. We got a few of our good old fans like Subject 14, Titch, and Sean. So let's go on ahead. Let's figure out where we were. All right, we're going to start out on page 10. All right, so we're going to start out on page 10 just after he has the vision, I believe. Yeah, we're going to start out on page 10. So tonight, guys, I hope y'all enjoy. Here we go. This is my novel, Blackenedhills. No sleep. Still can't think. Too much pain. So hungry. Nightmares all during sleep. Too many faces. They were all screaming at once. Agony and pain. That fucking song is all I can hear other than the screams. Such pain in my head. The one face of God, that one face, oh God, that one horrible, terrifying face. It was so hideous. I was singing that damn song and eating. God, what was I eating? It was eating the people that were there, and they wouldn't die until he ate them all up. He literally ate them alive. The smile on its face, it enjoyed hurting them. I saw myself standing before a pool of blood and body parts. I could smell the rancid, hellish flesh, and saw people, living people, roiling and fighting to get out of and away, but the pit walls are way too steep. Maggots and other foul, writhing things were crawling all over them. The blood and muck would bubble and churn ever so often. Then the screams would grow louder and louder. That song would shake the walls, and the ground would growl so loud. Then one of the people would vanish under the filth. The panic was palpable. What was weirder was when I came to, I was back in the chair, staring at the bin again, and worse, for a second more, like half a second, only half. But I swear that that same face, the smiling one that was eating the others, it was staring back at me, its eyes shining with a black, almost burnt pinkish hue. I blinked, and it was gone. For some reason, this is all I could focus on. This damn dream, the pain, the damn song. I keep feeling like I'm literally losing my mind. I feel it's to some dark force that has something to do with this strange dream in that pit. I'm feeling dizzy and weak. Still can't eat. can't keep liquids down. I know that whatever is going on here, it's not natural, and I don't believe it's just a cult or a mad politician. It's a demon with his talons in the whole town. And it definitely trails off from there for a little bit, guys. I tried to make it look, since it's supposed to be written like a journal, I tried to make it look like he passed out. And when he woke up, this will be the first glance you guys get at the language I have created for Blackenedhills. What the hell did I do? I never remember writing this shit last night. I recall I was writing and complaining about my head, which still hurts, just even more so. Then nothing. I woke up in the damn chair staring at that same fucking vent, only this time I saw it. I don't know if it was a hallucination or if I really saw something. Whatever the damn thing was, it has sickly, dead white skin with a strange purple hue to it. The eyes, oh God, its eyes, they burned with an amethyst flame. The murderous intent in those maddened orbs was almost visible to the naked eye. The mouth on the thing reminded me of an anglerfish from the depths of the river Styx. Running down the center of the rage-wrinkled brow was a finned crest. The veins on its face pulsated with some foul substance. It was clearly visible through the skin. It had no lips, only torn flesh, where the multiple teeth tore their way through. I could swear each tooth moved on its own in any direction. I locked eyes with it. Then I could see that in that instant, it smiled. Like one would watching a 5-star gourmet chef cooking the perfect cut of meat just for them. Then it vanished down the vent, faster than my eyes could have followed. That damn song is still blaring in my head. Now like it was at a concert standing next to the speakers. You know, the horrible thing about the face that I saw was how close to human it was. Its nose resembled a mostly rotten human nose, and the portions and spacings were human. I do remember one thing while I was out of vision, as if it were. I was standing in the town square, just outside my window, but it wasn't the town. I see now it was much older. I could see and feel the cold, biting snow. I thought I would freeze to death. All around me, people dressed in clothes that I had only seen in pictures of the settling period of Exeter. As I watched a young woman tending a small garden at the edge of the settlement, a scream of pure blood-curdling agony erupted from a home next door. The screams were followed by several more of varying age. The young lady tending her garden, as well as the others, seemed to pay the cries no mind. Hi, how you doing, South City? We're reading from my novel. Let's see. Where were we at? Seemed to pay the cries no mind. I cried out for someone to help, but they couldn't. They couldn't hear, neither see me. My touch passed through all but the ground I walked on. I kept looking towards the door while desperately trying to get anybody's attention in this weird slow motion style way of movement. I'll just be trying to get anybody's attention in this weird slow motion style movement. The screams were like what I had envisioned hell to sound like. I looked towards the door again, this time to see a face set in the center of the door, leaning at me, smiling. How you doing, Amber? We're reading from Blackenedhills. Smiling this horrid smile. I thought my eyes were playing tricks, Then the terror-filled screaming stopped. The smile on the dark, evil man's face that appeared on the door widened. Come on, come and scribe what you see, blood of the pen of old, the face called out. I heard the church bell sound and followed the townsfolk in the same dream-like trance. As we approached the church doors, I glimpsed two men off to the side of the church burning bodies, Bibles and crosses, as well as pews. How can one have service without seating? That's when the doors opened. What I saw was a chapel right out of hell. Human bones decorated the interior, while a large pit dominated the stage where an altar should be. At the far end of the pit was where the altar had been relocated. To the end of the pit was where the altar had been relocated, made of living, writhing humans that seemed to have melted together. Their faces were twisted in pain, terror, and agony. Their bodies and limbs twisted in unnatural ways. That horrible song, that's what they were screaming. Behind this horror stood a robed figure, his garbs white and crimson. His hair was jet black and straight but short. His frame was thin, gaunt, almost skeletal. The high priest had his back to the mass of zombie-like people that filed into the building. On his back was another mark, not like the one I had been seeing, which now hung high above the vile altar. This one looked almost like a hand. As I entered the main worship hall, I smelled it. Blood and rotting flesh. The stink was incredible. Stranger still is you can't smell it outside, even with the doors open. It's shoulder room only as the town folks gather round the pit. I look around at the many dead faces, at the eyes rolled back into their sockets, and their jaws all slacked. That fucking God-be-damned song erupted from their motionless maws. The man turns. It was Pastor Gentry. On the band of his right arm, he wore yet another mark, a strange spiral with a cross. Both appear on that weird page, so I won't sketch them. On his chest was a black and crimson silhouette of a six-horned angel. His face was cold, cruel, and devoid of emotion. All but his eyes. At first, I couldn't tell, but as he raised his hands, I could clearly see nothing. His eyes were like two black holes, drawing all that he laid them upon, empty voids that could devour the soul. As his hand reached their apex, upwards, a massive gurgling sound raged from the pit. The smell in the air grew worse, to the point it made me sick. The most horrible screeching sound I'd ever heard came screaming from the pit. All kinds of splashing and sickening slop came with it. I could tell that something big lives down there. When his hands reached their apex, 4 people stepped through a small door to the right and to the left, dragging chains. I heard the same screams, those emanating from the house outside. It was a family of 5, the youngest no more than 6. The chains were tipped with barbed and serrated hooks that were dug into their genitals and limbs. The four who drug their victims along seemed to enjoy the torment they caused. It was 3 men and a woman. Their faces contorted in a sadistic, maddening joy. More chains lowered from the ceiling, almost by themselves. The 4 attached the chains together, and the family was lifted over the pit, crying out in the most terrifying and horrible pain and anguish I had ever heard. Pastor Gentry lowered his arms slowly as he did. So did the chains. Okay. Noises from the pit grew more frenzied. The little one was the first to look down, and forgetting his pain, switched to panic. As the first looked down, or as his little brown head turned white and fell out at the mere sight of what laid in that pit in an instant. The rest of the family followed suit. After what seemed like hours, the screams were met with hungry, bellowing shrieks. I could hear it ripping them apart and laughing, actually laughing at their agony. Tears welled up in my eyes. I couldn't watch anymore. I looked towards the stained glass window. That's when I saw the bird, a simple bluebird, perched on the seal. I reached for it, wanting so bad to have something pure in this hell. The bird took flight with a heading of my outstretched hand. The light from the sun illuminating its path to me, lighting me up in this crowd of living corpses. I watched in wanting awe as the feathered savior pursued my hand and touches it. The tip of its beak touches the tip of its beak to the center of my forehead. A radiant, blinding light that somehow doesn't hurt my eyes filled my vision. It was at this point that I heard a voice. Its power was so great it shook my very core. I felt only goodness and strength. It told me not to fear, for your Creator calls and protects you. My child, bear my mark and free yourself from this voided spellbound. I am your Creator, but know this, it is I who need you. He has not won yet. Find your brothers and sisters, raise my army, and banish the banished. Awaken, dearest heart, and flee this world. Look for the man whose name helps one to walk. When I looked into the mirror upon my awakening, I noticed something on my forehead, right where the bird touched my head. It was the same eye-like symbol Grandpa drew. The voice told me to bear his mark. I know now that the Creator of the universe has called upon and marked me as his own. I understand now why Soulless Black wants me dead. I am chosen like my family before me. So now I know my destiny. I will, like my family before me, leave town tomorrow. I've done all I needed to here. Now I have a new mission. And this time, God is on my side. Day 12 of Calboria. This is the end of that one section from the journal. What's up, Elijah? How you doing, man? Last night, someone came into my room. Whoever it was wore this demonic mask. It reminded me of that horrible demonic face that I saw in the vent that night. I was painted in shades of blue, gray, and it was painted in shades of blue, gray, and bone. A large blue gem was set in the forehead. Inside on the gem was the same glyph or rune, whatever it is, that adorned the entire town. He was dressed in an old school thief hood, but a modern black t-shirt and armored biker jacket. He had a pair of padded leather chaps over black cargo pants with a steel-capped pair of boots. He carried a long, very curved knife with a blade that could be 1.5 feet long. He tripped over my shoes, luckily. The noise woke me. I saw the knife. I grabbed my laptop bag, device and all, throwing it as hard as I could. Throwing the nearly 7-pound bag as hard as I could. Bullseye. I hit them dead between their eyes. The knife fell to the floor somewhere. It wasn't till after the fight, I found it under my dresser. I leapt to my feet, grabbing my end table. I wasted no time in bringing the solid wood object straight down onto his or her head. I heard a muffled noise, I'm assuming was a painful scream. However, it was cut short by a louder, hollow crunch. I lifted the table and brought it down once more, hearing another crunch, this time joined by a stomach-churning squish. I held the now weapon of murder over my head one last time. I stopped when I noticed the head had warped and a large pool of blood had begun to form around the head of the intruder. I grabbed my pants and ran down to the front desk to call the police, though I doubt it will do much good. But I had to try. When I got there, I could find no one. The front door was even locked, somehow from the outside and not by deadbolt. I tried the phone and got only static and some faint, strange voice I couldn't understand. I had decided to return to my room when I heard a scream from the other side of the hall. I ran as fast as I could back to my room to look for the knife. The scream echoed again, louder, crying out for help. I made it to my room as more cries came to my ears. I could tell that it was a young woman. I heard the sound of objects breaking. Good, she was fighting back. Hold on, I just have to find that knife. Finding that knife was all that was on my mind. After fumbling with my lock, I swung open my door. Sorry guys, I skipped a part. He finds the knife underneath the dresser. Sorry, I gotta write that back in. That's why this is a rough draft. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see, where was I at? Tried the phone, strange voice. I heard screams from the outside of the hall. Good, she was fighting back. I swung open my door. Hang on. Was all that was on my mind. After fumbling with my lock, I swung open my door. What I saw stopped me dead in my tracks. The body of the intruder was being pulled into the vent. The corpse was halfway down the chest. The arms were pressed into the chest cavity as cloth and skin peeled away. The bones broke and snapped in horrid ways. The belly ruptured and the body spilling and the bowels spilling through the hole, leaving only blood behind. At that point, the screams changed to horrid shrieks and sobbing cries. I dropped to my knees. The sobbing turned to gurgling, choking, then done. I slammed my door, shoving the desk and dresser in front of the door. The last I recall was a short, unearthly roar, followed by crunching. The roar matched the ones from the vision. By the Creator, the damn thing is real, and the townspeople are worshiping and feeding it. Shock took me, and I fainted once more. I don't know what time it was when I woke up. All I know was that I needed to leave, and fast. I leapt to my feet. Oh, by the way, that other page was the end of page 16, the end of day 13. Sorry. I don't know what time it was when I awoke. All I know is that I needed to leave, and fast. I leapt to my feet and looked around at the chaos and gore that covered my room. In a flash, I gathered my things. I grabbed my phone and searched for a cab or driver service. No signal. No signal whatsoever. Damn it. I would just walk as far and fast as I can till I have signal. To hell with this place. I need to leave and quick. The whole town needs to be destroyed. I ran to the door, wanting nothing more than to run. The door opened, just as I reached for the handle. Standing there was a tall mountain of a man. His eyes showed pure madness, while his face showed this control and calm that scared me more than his psychotic stare. Thank the Creator, he stepped aside to reveal a frail and decrepit old man. His face was like a refinery pipe map. Liver and age spots covered his body. His eyes were black and emotionless. His hair, although what little he had, was totally white and greasy. The nose that sits within the center of the face was shriveled and red as blood. His face was gaunt and cracked along his pasty, scum-covered gray lips, as thin as a lollipop stick. His hands were gnarled and arthritic, held tight to his chest. He wore the same robes as the ones in my vision. His overly bushy eyebrows raised as he crossed his hands. Those horrid lips parted, and in a voice that would chill a banshee's blood, told me, "You are summoned by the pit, Mr. Scribesman." He stretched the top of his left hand. It's not advised to keep those of the void waiting. They get angry quickly, and you don't want to feel their wrath. I looked at the man mountain, then back at the old man. And if I refuse your orders, then you'll have to muscle here. You'll have your muscle here kill me, like that poor woman last night. He smiled a slight, so disturbing smile. I'm doing great there, guys. I'm reading from a novel. He smiled a sight so disturbing that it turned my stomach to see it. Oh no, my boy. She was doomed from the start. After all, our dear Lord needed her flesh, you see. But you, my boy, you are wanted for more than your meat. You can't resist him. You can resist him. Broke his grand song. This will not stand. So he must speak with you and find out how you did this. Then, if our Lord so wishes, he will feast upon your body. But to answer your question, yes, lad, he will force you to come violently if necessary. I glanced back at the giant at his side. His calm face looked like it had been hardened by years of horrible deeds and traumatic sights. His tanned skin had the red hue of a farmer's tan. His beady, small, almond-shaped eyes seemed sunken into his head. His thin upper lip was tight and bore a thick black mustache. His nose was bulbous and riddled with blackheads. His bottom lip was large and red as blood. His shoulders were so broad, he would have had to turn sideways just to enter the door. He was barrel-chested, with enough muscle to take on a bear. His hands were as wide as a baseball or a basketball, with fingers the size of bananas, and looked as hard and as powerful as a 9-pound hammer. He was all of 7 feet tall. I was sure he could kill me with just his bare hands in an instant. The bulge showing beneath his jacket made it all apparent that he had other ways to end me. I see. So either way, I'm dead by the end of the day. And this Lord you speak of, it's not human. This I know. I looked behind me, seeing my only way was out the window. The 3rd story window. The fall wouldn't kill me, unless I landed on my head, but I doubt I would be doing much running after. However, going with these meant a horrible death at the fangs and claws of whatever that thing is down in that pit. An end that I definitely wouldn't wish on anyone. So here I am, making split-second decisions to die by jumping outside of a window or die by being fed to some horrible monster that thinks it's God. Your decision, sir. His lordship is waiting. His grin widened, revealing black and brown teeth with bits of chewed food strewn in between them, stuck in between them. It wouldn't surprise me if he was a cannibal, too. The big guy ducked to get in the door. That was my chance to run. I took off at full sprint, straight for the window. I held my bag in front of me, my bag in front of my face, and leapt for the window. The old man screamed something, but I couldn't understand what he said, over the sound of the window shattering, and my own heart jumping out of my chest. In that short time, all I could think of is that I'm sorry, grandfather, I failed. That I just found out that he wasn't crazy. How? I had just discovered that I do have a destiny, and that the creator of our world had chose me to tell the world about him and to bring back his glory. Yet here I was, falling to what can only lead to my death. The fall seemed to take forever, but it was over as soon as the thought crossed my mind. I landed hard. Something cracked. A sharp pain shot straight through my head, shattering my thoughts. I screamed in pain and grabbed my leg. My ankle was broke, and I knew it. I remembered the old man and his brute. I looked around me, searching for them. Just as I found the front door, they came out with 3 more men. I tried to jump to my feet, but came crashing down. I was facing the town square when I saw 2 more men riding in on a pair of hogs, on a pair of motorcycles. Who has motorcycles now? You know, that's just in the comic story, I mean. Damn it, I was screwed. How was I going to fight off all these people? Two of the old man's henchmen ran up to me. They lifted me off the ground. One shouted to the other to stop the men on the cycles. As he did this, I saw his head suddenly empty, as one of the men from the motorcycle steadied his pistol for another shot. The other man who held my right arm, began to run with me in tow. I saw the mammoth man rush the old man into the hotel as the hail of gunfire rang out. The man on my arm was rushing me towards the van that I could see before me. I knew that if I entered that van, it would take a miracle to get me out of it. All I wanted was to find my grandfather's killer. Creator, please, if you're real, I need you to save me. Please. I couldn't believe it. No sooner did I think of that than the doors of the van opened, and one of those bikers greeted my captor with the barrel of a shotgun. The first thing I noticed was the patch. Trapped in the words, Brothers of the Band of the Weird, was the mark of the creator. My heart soared. Top of the morning, lad, he smiled wide and pulled the trigger, putting a cantaloupe-sized hole through the man's chest. He dropped to the ground, taking me with him. Looks like you could use a hand, man. He reached down and helped me to my feet. All right, lad. Get in the damn van. We haven't got all day. He bellowed as he slung me into the back of the van. Now, hold on, son. This might get a little hairy. By the way, name's Elkin Weird. He rammed the gas as he fired another shell into the passenger window. The two men on motorcycles threw a pair of Molotov cocktails into the windows of the hotel before revving up and hauling ass as they rode up behind the van. One waved as I looked out the window. All I could do was wave back. One said something to the other. They had a quick conversation, seemed to laugh and give me an okay sign. Them's my brothers. The one on the green and silver bike is Jamie. The one on the red, blue, and gold bike is Orville. Together, we're the Brothers Weird, at your service. Now, hold on. They called in. Now, hold on. You called in the cavalry, by the way. You got some real balls jumping out of that window. Not much for brains, but a ton of huevos. As he's talking, I can see 4 pickup trucks filled with armed men carrying pistols and hunting rifles and shotguns. Seeing this, I felt it sink in that my life was totally in deep peril. That I may die. My knees started to shake, and I pissed my pants. I actually pissed my pants. All I could think of was, oh God, help me through this. Tears welled up in my eyes. I saw my life go by in a flash as a bullet crashed through the window and brought me back to reality. Fuck, that was close. Bugger's a decent shot, he chuckled. How could he be laughing now? These men wanted to kill us. I mean, shooting me is bad. Stabbing me to death is worse. But to be fed to that thing is way worse. That is what terrifies me the most. Another round came flying through the window, shattering the passenger headrest. Stay down, bud. It's much safer that way. Oh, shit. Bang. He looses a shell through one of the holes in the window. The 2 behind us sped up to intercept the trucks that were trying to cut us off. Get 'em, boys! Woohoo! Yeah! He fired another shell at as Jamie let loose a volley out of what looked like a rapid-fire machine pistol. I originally put Uzi, but I'm going to change the name. The first truck window spidered as blood covered the inside of the glass. Bullseye, baby! The truck careened towards the ditch. The man in the bed of the truck immediately got a look of panic in their face. One jumped out only to be ran over by one of the following vehicles. The other was catapulted into the side of the windows of a bank. Human bodies were never meant to impact a wall like that, or at those speeds. Those in the cab didn't fare any better. The large pickup rolled into the ditch, slamming into the opposite side, sending the truck straight into the air. One of the men came halfway through the window on impact. When the truck flipped into the air, he flew out of the truck's cab and flew straight into the path of the same truck that hit the other man. That's when I noticed that the man was way too small to be a grown man, unless he was a midget. The truck made contact with the body, and the body was pulled under the tires. By the Creator, that was a child. What was a child doing here? This thing is so vile. It would not only eat children, but use them to kill as well. Hey, hop along. Can you shoot? Hey, dumbass. I shook my head, snapping back to reality. Wait, no. I've never fired a gun in my life. I'm a writer and a historian. I broke my ankle. What is going on here? Who are you people? I sounded so pitiful and pathetic, like a small, frail child. I was embarrassed and angry with myself. The Creator chose me for a reason. That reason wasn't just to sit here and cry like a child while I die like a dog. I told you, lad, we're the Brothers Weird, soldiers against the Black One, warriors in the service of the Creator, and here to save your prophet. And we're here to save your prophet ours. He swerved to avoid one of the trucks coming at us. He plowed through a person's yard. Prophet, the confusion spread across my face. The confusion spreading across my face was enough to make Elkin laugh. Bullets came flying in through the window of the side door, directly above my head. Glass rained down on me as I covered my head with my upper arms. I noticed a bag sitting close to my left. Sticking out of the unzipped duffel was the stock of a pistol grip of an assault rifle. I grabbed the weapon, and despite the pain, I got into the kneeling position. I brought the gun up, and seeing the back of one of those trucks, there was 3 men standing there. I took aim and pulled the trigger. The gun spat its fire and metal. One of the men dropped to the bed, while the middle man took 2 to the chest. The man behind him fell out of the back as the one I shot dropped in his tracks. Nice shot, lad. His brothers came alongside us as one shot the fire that the other. Oh, hang on. As one shot towards the driver of the other truck. The truck began to lose control. As soon as his brothers were out of the way, Elkin rammed the van into the truck, sending the horrible cult personnel and their death truck careening into a concrete divider. The back window shattered. While a sharp pain now shot down my arm, I turned and let loose a volley. I didn't know if I hit anyone or not. I looked at my arm, bleeding. Blood welled up and poured from the fresh bullet wound. It hurt so bad. 2 more rounds punched the back door. I dragged myself to the back door and looked out the corner of the window. The third truck was closer and closer. I shoved the barrel of my weapon out of the window, aimed at the cab, and squeezed the trigger. The sound of the screeching tires. The sound of the screeching tires and crunching metal as it slammed into the guardrail let me know I had hit my target. The pain was intolerable, and I was getting dizzy. I refused to pass out this damn time. I was going to fight this time. I was not just going to roll over and die. I was frantically looking for the 4th truck. When I found it, I wish I had. Just as I saw the 4th truck, it slammed into the side of the van. I felt the world spin and saw the van roll. My head came down hard, several times in a row. On the 5th impact, I once again lost consciousness. The brothers Weird, Elkin Weird, Jamie Weird, and Orville Weird. Day 14 of Cowboy Hill. So it looks like we're getting some good, feedback here, guys. I just realized I've been reading for 45 minutes. So I'm going to go on ahead, go stop for a second, take a break, and go to the restroom, get myself something to drink. And I think it's a good place to stop for right now, guys. Actually, where are we at? Okay. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages to go before we actually get to the next one. You love the writing system? Thank you. Hopefully subject 14 isn't the only one that was listening to my novel. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second, guys, and I'll be sitting down and talk with y'all. All right. Okay, guys. So, hello, everybody. Welcome into the show. I hope y'all have enjoyed tonight's Blackenedhills reading. What's up, Caden? How you doing? So yeah, guys, what did y'all think so far? What's up, subject? We're going to hang out for a little bit, and then I got to go. You really enjoyed it? Thank you. I've been working on this for a while, guys. This is just the first draft. I will type it out a lot better. It will have a lot more detail, and it will have a lot more description in it next time. Thank you, Kyle. I understand that, man. It's like the ability to experience sensations and feelings, but like they can be positive and negative, like pleasure or like pain. Oh, that's cool to Caden. But yeah, guys, I thank you all for coming and enjoying the reading. For everybody who's new, I do apologize. Y'all missed the major part of the show, which was the readings about Blackenedhills. Okay, that's cool, Caden. I like that. Odin is most likely watching you and enjoying your novel, I believe. Thank you, but it would be Scotty that would be enjoying it. Scotty was the god of poetry and literacy. So he would probably be the one enjoying it the most. Odin probably just enjoys it just because he likes a good story. But thank you very much for that wonderful compliment. Guys, does anybody else have any questions about the novel or pertaining to the novel? I guess we don't. Well, it is a little saddening to know that my Jin could not make it tonight. She's apparently fallen asleep on us. But that's okay. We actually got to do our reading, which is awesome. We're having good feedback. We got 14 likes up there, guys, which is far better than we did last time. So, Blackenedhills readings will probably continue. Guys, this is actually a good thing because it makes me have to write in that novel. I have to sit down and do it in order to keep up with you guys. Because here soon, y'all are going to get caught up with me. So, I'm glad that y'all have enjoyed it. And, it's definitely, thank you. It's a work in progress. But thank you. I do have a picture of the thing that lives in the pit. This is what lives in that pit. So, yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you'll see in Blackenedhills. I've just got to cut that out of this sketchbook and put it in that novel. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and listening. I really enjoy the fact that I'd like a little bit more feedback from some people, but it doesn't look like anybody else aside from the Caden and Subject 14 wants to talk today. Oh man, let's see how many people had actually showed up. Inoki, Joe Shore, what's up? Angel 420. All right. So yeah, guys, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching the show. Y'all are absolutely awesome. Since we did have almost 20 likes this time while I was reading the novel, we're probably going to come back and read it again next Sunday. All right, guys, or this following Sunday. Sorry I missed last Sunday's reading, and sorry I've missed a couple of nights of final thoughts. But guys, it's been a rough month. It has not been easy on me. I have been making mistakes, and I'm trying to correct those mistakes. But Blackenedhills, final thoughts, evening hangouts, or afternoon hangouts, and morning mojo will continue, guys. You know, the only difference is I simply ask, if you are underage, if you are below the age of 18, watch my show, but don't comment. Don't let me know you're even there. You know, because that's what's causing a lot of issues. People are mad because I talk to everybody. I don't ask for age. And it's because I don't think about it as a schizophrenic. You know, I'm just like, hey, new friends, you know. And yeah, we definitely all make mistakes, for sure. You know, and we all got to make up for those mistakes and have accountability for those mistakes. You know, and I'm trying to take mine. But guys, that's why we're making some changes to the show. But not much, you know. Yeah, man. And y'all guys got to remember, this is my first time on the internet. Never been on it before. So I don't know proper internet etiquette. So I make a lot of boo-boos. Talking with everyone, regardless of age, should not matter. Helping each other is important. Thank you, Joe Shore. You know that for sure, yeah. You see, thank you for sure, or Joe Shore. You know, that's how I look at it. If I'm teaching things, you know, why should I limit myself? But at the same time, I understand. You know, we live in a country where people don't trust anybody. And it's because we live in a world that's almost as dark as my Blackenedhills. The only difference is the monsters walk on two legs at all times. So guys, remember that. You know, there are heroes, there are protectors, and then there are the people that will hurt you. Those are the true monsters. We might not have werewolves, rougarou, vampires, and those sorts of things, but we have worse. We have humans. So always remember to be careful when you go outside, to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones, and to protect those who you care about. You know, never forget that. That's what gives you your strength, your loved ones. So yeah, that is a huge reason why I write Blackenedhills the way I do. Dorian Scribesman is alone in this journey. And a lot of times, people with schizophrenia feel alone in their journey. They see things other people don't see, you know, and it freaks a lot of people out. Yes, it does vary, Joe Shore. It does vary. Depends on what kind of monster you are. I'm a tickle monster. You mess with me, you know, I like to tickle people. I don't know why. You know, I also like to walk up behind people and spook them, you know, but that's just me. You know, I don't mean no harm by it. And some people just don't understand what a good old-fashioned, wholesome, good old time is. You know, and that's why I like to thank all of y'all who showed up. You have all been great. Y'all have all been amazing. Thank y'all for y'all support. Thank y'all for everything that y'all have done. Thank you so much for sitting this whole time listening to me read this book, you know, and giving me such great feedback. You know, guys, we got 15 likes up there. That's amazing. That's way more than we had last time. We have way more views. And, you know, the Caden, what you thinking about, brother? Sorry, I got a little carried away in my thoughts there for a moment. And they're everywhere, guys. So, especially right now. Thank you, man. Um, I've been able to go live for a while now. But do you think the song "Sounds of Silence" was a prediction of today's society? Oh, waitress, you know what? I never thought about it, but you're absolutely correct. Now that got me thinking about it, yeah, it is 100% a complete and utter prediction of how our world is now. No problem, Jennifer. It's amazing being here, seeing all these people from everywhere around the world. Oh, yes, it is. This channel should not be turned into something weird by people. It's live where everyone is loved and cared for, no matter the age. As long as we all help for each other, it's fine. Thank you, guys. Thank you, the Kate. How cow? I just noticed you have over 1,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I did a video where it was a zombie apocalypse video, and it said the weapon beside you is your weapon during the zombie apocalypse. Well, I never have just one, so I pulled out 3. And when I did that, it blew me up. It sent me skyrocketing through the roof, man. We're still trying to get more people in. We're trying to hit that 3,000 mark. We're almost at 1,500, but we're trying to hit that 3,000 subscriber mark. So that's our next goal, is to get another 1,500 people. Right now we're struggling at 1412 to 1416. So let's try to get past those. Can some of these people sub to me? I'm going to try to grow my channel, but I don't post. Okay, hang on there, the Caden. Guys, let's all go and try to sub up to the Caden, all right? Pulled out 3. I like that one. We're all human, so as humans, we need to be kind to our kin. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely do shorts, the Caden. Shorts, shorts, shorts. Those will get you out in the algorithm. Not only that, but those will tell you how well your channel's doing. See, every now and then I'll pop out a short, about every third or 2 to 3 shorts. I'll pop out one that gets over 1,000 views. And that's the ones that I try to strive for, to copy those successes. Yeah, it helps a lot. It really does. Guys, it's definitely been an interesting trip for me here, guys. We have made some dear friends, lost some dear friends, and made some more. And we definitely have been growing and falling here and learning. And that's one of the things that I also wanted to do with this channel, was learn about the internet. I keep hearing how horrible this place is, how terrible it is. I just see that you need to be a little careful. You need to watch your kids. And it's complicated. It's not simple. Yes, always learn from your mistakes. I just don't know if I'm ready to fully get into YouTube because I'm still young and I have school and stuff. The Caden, I wouldn't do it just yet. If you're still in school, no, I wouldn't try it. Because it takes a commitment. It gets addicting too. I'm not even going to lie. I had to catch myself and be like, no, dude, you need to slow it on down. That's how come I've slowed down a little bit on the shorts. When I have time to pop out some, I'll pop out 2 or 3. And that will keep me in the algorithm. Just over 500 subs on YouTube, and I definitely had to deal with a lot of different people. Oh, yeah. Yes, I agree with you, Subject 14. All right, guys. I know I've quit smoking for a while, but I have had a really stressful month. So I'm going to take just a small amount of tobacco, for old time's sake, from my old friend right here. Yes, I handmade this pipe. And yes, that is the symbol from the book. Yes, definitely give it some time. So yeah, please forgive me. I am going to smoke some nicotine. Sorry, guys, but I've been under a lot of stress. Thank you. And no, Joe, I had quit like right after I made the show or right after I made the channel. I know, but I'm only taking a small amount. It's not even a full bowl load. It's literally just the bottom of the bowl. And I'm only taking that and I'm quitting. You know, it's just been really, 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 yeah. Try not to relapse. That's the problem. That's why I'm taking one bowl and then I'm putting this sucker back where it goes. But to go several weeks without any tobacco and suddenly start up again with one bowl, guys, I think I'm doing good. Yes, quitting is not easy. I've known a lot of people that are like, just drop it, just don't do it. You try. That's the first thing out of my mouth. You start being a smoker for as many years as I have, and then you try to quit. I've been smoking for almost 20 years. You know, smoking for 18 years is how long I smoked. And I'm just now trying to quit. Yeah, y'all try to. It's nowhere near easy. It's definitely hard. Definitely getting better, maybe once a few times a month, but substitute it with straws or something. Oh, actually, I've been substituting it with non-nicotine vapes every now and then just to get the motion. You know, subject 14, that is a problem for everybody in America right now. They need to stop going online so much. They need to go outside, spend time with their family. They need to go outside, spend time with their loved ones. They need to go have some fun. They need to go be a human being and stop being a computer program. So I completely agree with you on the putting the internet down for a little while. Where the heck? Well. You know, and it's okay to have hobbies online, for sure. No, it's not. It's become a regular for a lot of people. It's become their go-to for babysitting, all kinds of stuff. You know, I've seen parents that are like, here's the cell phone, leave me alone. And I'm like, you're going to let them just run off, piddle fart around on Facebook, on your phone, on your account, and they're like younger than 10. No! No! You keep them babies away from the internet until they're like 13, 14. Yeah. That's true, subject 14. And Joe Shore, you're absolutely right. A lot of parents will give a child a tablet, laptop, something like that, and say, here's my account, go have fun. You know, that's where I end up with 5-year-olds on here with a grown adults page. You know, and they're going to sit there and they're going to talk like their mom and their dad. You know, because what they do is as they go to text, their mom and their dad's sentences appear. And they just click on them. So that way they sound adult. And guys, no. You know, just no. You know, that's why I quit setting my channel to 18 and only, you know, strict setting, where it's the advanced settings. What's up, Rock Williams? And the reason being is because, A, I can't see you guys' chats. So I can't talk to you guys, which sucks. That's the whole reason why I started YouTube, so I can talk to you guys. But the second part about it is, you know, guys, they're going to come in no matter what. I learned that. They're coming in and watching me no matter what I do. They're going to get on their parents They're going to get on their brothers. They're going to get on their sisters. Whatever it takes. If they're a fan, they're going to watch me regardless. So, guys, the only thing I'm going to do is say that just if you come in here, you sound like a kid, I'm going to ask you to leave. If you come in here, you know, being immature, I'm going to make you leave. If you come in here and you're obviously a child, I'm going to have to ban you. It doesn't matter if you set your stream to. Not for kids. Younger people pop up all the time. It's very prominent or predominant. Yes, it is, man. What's happening, Rock? Nothing much. We're just hanging out for a minute. We're just chit-chatting about some things. Well, I'm young, but I was raised by I get a phone at 13. 13 just because of being mature enough. But I still go outside every day and stuff, but still need to take some time off of my phone. The Caden, that's right. That's a good young man right there. What's up, Rock? I do live streams all the time, so I'm very aware how it works. Yeah, Joe, I catch you a lot, man. Gotta go. See ya. Good luck, Clint. Thank you, Subject 14. See you next time down under. But yeah, Joe, I've seen you on there a lot, man. And I've seen you just sit there just hitting delete, because you got like 10 kids that popped up trying to talk to you. Mostly use my phone to see messages or listen to music or watch streams. There you go, man. You know, your phone is for calling, texting, now watching streams from time to time, and music. You guys, that's all I use it for, is my YouTube, my Pandora for when I'm working, and to call. I don't use this sucker for anything else, you know. And I'm glad I started the YouTube thing, but it's definitely been hard to figure out a little bit. But anyway, guys, we hit an hour and 10 minutes. I am tired. You know, I only took a nap before I came on here. So in 24 hours, I've slept 3. So I'm going to go on ahead, go hit the hay, and you guys enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for being here tonight for the Blackenedhills reading. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We will continue it again now, next Sunday. So, see you there. All right, everybody. Remember, see it from the swamp, later from a gator. Love your mama, love your papa, love yourself, be kind, always find a way to help everybody. See ya.